I'd say we're pretty ready. I don't know what I was about to hit, but not super relevant, I suppose. Surprise! You know, my mouse doubled. I haven't quite reached the end of my rope with my mouse double clicking, but it's getting pretty close. It's getting pretty close. Well, if I hadn't saved in DaVinci Resolve and had to redo the thumbnail, that might have been it. I might have plugged in my questionable in performance and definitely needs to be cleaned off at the very least. Backup mouse. That is from when I originally got a laptop to game with over 10 years ago. So, you know, it's technically older than my current mouse, but less well used. The buttons still work, pretty sure. I can't actually remember why I swapped. I'm sure it's not important. So, yeah. Hi, welcome to this unplanned adventure because everything else was just pissing me off. Yeah, pretty much. Tried to play War Thunder. That didn't work. Because then it literally didn't open, so it's like, okay, whatever. Played a game of Deadlock. First one was okay. The second one I just left because top lane was a super fed McGinnis and Yamato. I'm playing Graves, mind you. Mid was a pretty solidly fed Lash, and I don't even know who else. And then the lane I had to deal with was Wraith and Geist. Yeah, fun. As a Graves, who has a Warden as my lane partner. The Warden who didn't seem to know their power spikes. Who knows? But you know, there's I don't like leaving stuff like that early or whatever. But there's quite literally nothing I could do as Graves into that. Especially McGinnis, because literally you just can't target her because her turrets are there. And the game likes to target her turrets over her, even though that's not really the best thing to do most of the time. But yes, after getting turret dive, dove for like the 5th time with 0 counterplay. That was it. So here we are. Yeah. I need a description for this. I don't need to do it now, but I might as well do it now, so you know. I suddenly can't remember how to spell sanity. I'm pretty sure I had it. Oh, there is an E. That was correct. Trust your gut. Always trust your gut. Stay Levy and all of that. If hold It just works. Unfortunately, it does not just work in life. It's not how it goes. Nope. Instead of you know the message work, there's no point in the around. Probably good enough. Yeah. Yeah. And now I'm just gonna talk to myself for like 10-15 minutes until maybe someone shows up. Otherwise, I'll just be talking to myself the entire time. Which, no, such is life. I do have more of an idea of what I want to do video-wise, though, so there's that. Like 3/4 of the way set on how I'm gonna do them. This is partially just an idea that I had naturally in the shower. And then also because, well, if you do content creation and you haven't used vidIQ's add-on, I recommend it. It's more info. And it does have some nice features, like the ability to ask it to give a rundown on your target audience for your channel, which just fits the idea that I already had. So it's kind of nice to have other reassurance, as much as you can just do everything. But you know, analytical data is like what they're best at. It's the only thing it's really good at. It's not good at generative stuff, so. Just gonna be recording stuff. The background footage, oh, and variety, right? Oh shoot, what did it say? I have it saved in my ideas document. LGBTQ plus VTuber fans, gamers seeking casual, relatable, ADHD-friendly variety content, which is a sentence. An engaging, personal, conversational connection. Hell, it's AI, but the point stands. That is most of the things I like doing. That's why I don't really plan to be doing League or Valorant or any of that anymore. Or a bit, at least. It's a couple of reasons, but I like chatting with you guys. And I can't do that if I have to have to hyper focus on the game is maybe not the correct phrasing, but going to end up hyper focusing on a game and therefore not being as prompt responding to chat as I'd like to be. You know, he's not great. So, what plans to be doing now? Or I forget. Yeah, so variety content background game-wise, and then pick something to talk about over it. What I talk about should be related to the game. For instance, the next one's going to be War Thunder. Yeah. And specifically talking about why so many people are just upset with it. I guess that's the current topic. It's easy. It's there. Gotta start somewhere. Oh, but as to what's happening, life. I suppose life. I suppose just life. I'm not saying these guys for the tertiary plan, but it just happens to be cooler than it's supposed to be today. And also, don't, well, say a little too bored to record, because I just have to record the voiceover now at this point, I think. I've got the footage down, but Also, just every game annoying me or pissing me off in some way. The stuff just doesn't want to work. Yeah. Yeah. Not my favorite state of being, but it is one. Why can life be just exactly as Todd Howard sees it? It just works. That would be nice. But no, technology. It's actually been like the theme of the last year, huh? Because I've been watching through Zealand's FM26 playthrough, which he's technically still not done with, but ooh, things just not working this past year has been a well, an unwelcome but unfortunately accurate theme. That and Bespoke. Bespoke has been a meme for FM26, I believe. Very fitting. What is the favorite state of being? Entertained, but not full. That's a good question. Entertained, but not stressed, but also challenged. But nothing impossible to accomplish. I like challenges that I can actually, complete. Not like, oh, okay, well, that's just gonna take time, I guess, sort of thing. Not ideal. Certainly not. Ugh. Like, okay, no. Not quite. Things that are achievable, but not easy. Let's sweat for a little bit, okay? My favorite sort of thing, I guess, would be, in terms of sports, a close game, right? I've played sports basically my entire life, so it's an easy thing to reference, but the sort of a game where it's not a stomp on either side, but also not where nothing's happening because you're so evenly matched. Just there's ups and downs, back and forth, right? A lot of my favorite games that I've played are not ones where we even won, but just where everyone did their best, we all had fun and put in a good performance. Oh, winning's nice. I like winning, but you know, see, that's what I mean. Like, it's not like, oh, it's a 0-0 draw in soccer or anything, but like, you have a good play, they have a good play. You have a good play, they have a good play, sort of thing. It's probably some ending in between, but that's what's life. Or rather, that's gaming, technically, but not boring, but not interesting as in Chinese proverb interesting, if that makes sense. I need to remember to finish this. Yes, also my very healthy and filling, definitely not first meal of the day slash snack of bacon and rice. Mm-hmm. 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 Oh yay. VTuber not leading. My favorite interaction. I wouldn't care as much if it didn't like mouth full on open. Just because my jaw is going down, but $25 model. Limitations come with it. I had to stop myself from saying "say la vie" again, so you're welcome. Sunsu, why did it? What are you translating? You just capitalizing the T. Okay, Google. YouTube. Close enough. Bacon and rice be best and best and best. I mean, it tastes good. It's satisfying in terms of the texture, but it's a little lacking in nutritional value. Just slightly, only a little bit. Translating a dream. You know, valid dream. I feel like bacon and rice is more achievable than most things, so maybe a little low bar, but that's we've gone over my preferences. So what I want to add? Probably not. Some spinach wouldn't be bad. I'm like on the fence with bell peppers. If it was more of a stir fry, I think I'd go with that. But in terms of just heating it up in a pan, get some spinach with like garlic on them or whatever. I think that would probably go best. Also, protein. Tacos are awesome. Just had some today. Nice. Tacos are indeed awesome. Not everyone's preference. I mean, because I was going to make a joke, but then I realized that I couldn't think of another subtle enough euphemism? Double entendre? You get the idea. Because like hot dog doesn't really work. I guess the obvious is sausage. Yeah, the obvious is sausage. Which is decent, but you know. Peppers are awful and so are onions. Heathen. Sorry, just slipped out. Heathen. Again, heathen. No. It's my bad. Like, I can understand bell peppers. Like, not. First off, you gotta keep in mind that they actually differ in taste by color. The green ones are more bitter. Red and orange is pretty nice. Yellow's about the same. I think it's slightly different. I forget which one's more bitter of those. But if you just stir fry them up just right, they're just nice and sweet with a little bit of crunch. It's perfect. But I don't know how you dislike onions. I mean, not like raw. I'm not saying take a bite out of an onion, mind you. Onions, unless it's onion rings, then I guess they do kind of stand on their own. But it's a side, not even a side dish. It's a garnish? Side character. Onion's a side character. We'll just go with that. They all suck. I've eaten them. A moment of silence with the lost and wayward in chat. May they find their way. Onion rings are great, but onions add an awful texture to foods. That's a new one I've heard for not liking onions, but valid. That's valid. I don't know where it come from. I haven't taken a bite in a while. It is but a burst of spiciness from hot sauce. What? Perfect. Um, hmm. I'm trying to think of texture of onion, and I don't think I've ever consciously thought of it before. So it's proving to be slightly complicated. Oh, there it is. Like if they're overcooked, definitely, because then it's just mushy. But it's cooked just right, has a little bit of a give, but still maintains its structure, I guess. That's what I like. See, I'd have to say banana. Also, hi, Joe. I also never said hi to you, Charlie. Charles. Charles. We'll go Charles. But then, I don't know. Like, I don't hate the texture of either, but if I had to say which one is worse, I'd say bananas just because they're mostly mushy. They don't really have a texture. I'd argue that like fried bananas are even worse, actually. Especially if cooked, then bananas for sure. But yeah, going bananas. Just inhaling Canada's smoke. What? What does that mean? I even like I get being near Canada, alright. But why particularly Canada's smoke? Canada on fire at the moment is a thing? Is that a thing? I haven't thought anything about it, but I'm also nowhere near. Well, not the other part of Canada you'd be near, at least. Oh, reminds me, brother, how's the centipede situation going? Huh? Like, physically or metaphorically? It's not an important question, but I'm just throwing it out there. Vote. Valid. Sorry, Canada, you know it's true. Sincerely, United States citizens, you know. Hope the smoke doesn't move down. I can't talk. The West Coast is like perpetually on fire anything outside of winter, so yeah. 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 I don't get the talk. Hot kettle and all that. Ugh. But you know, I do concur. Centipedes are like I don't love spiders by any means. Centipedes I might say are worse. Just because you don't see them as often, maybe. Less desensitized. They already suck. Smoke in the air would make it worse. Oh no. Well, happy birthday. Hopefully a non-smoky birthday. Yeah. I know it's a lot to ask and all that, considering can't really control the weather. Unfortunately, trust me, it'd be a lot colder if I could. Spiders are the no. I won't allow the slander to stand. Oh, no. There will be no spider propaganda. They just kind of kill the bad bugs. See, it's the kind of part that I take issue with. Because they do that. They also like to go a lot of places they shouldn't go, like your shoes. And they're not going to say, hey, I'm down here if you put your foot into your shoe and just get unlucky. So, I thought you said your pillow. What do you mean on your face? Oh, no. Oh, could I hate them? I don't hate them. I severely dislike them. Partially because they scurry. Other part because I can't negotiate with them into staying in their corner. Yeah. Looked at a jumping spider? I've looked at many a jumping spider. I'm fine with them if they're outside. It's just specifically inside where I take issue. Yeah. Less so jumping spiders, admittedly, and more so the other types of spiders. Widows, recluses. Condolences to our Australian brethren. You know. Places I could never move to, Australia. Or anywhere warm, really. Beautiful and have an awesome... Tarantulas are beautiful and have an awesome theme song. What? I am missing context. Also, ew. No. Joker, no. No. Huh. Bad enough with, like, normal ears. I imagine talk ears. Yeah. Yeah, how's that? That'd be great. Fantastic. But yes, jumping spiders are cute. I won't debate them. I just prefer they stay outside. So I don't really have jumping spiders here. I hadn't thought about that, but you know. You still see them all the time in Cali. No, I have not heard the Tarantula theme song because some just haven't heard the Tarantula theme song. I don't really go looking for spider-related things, so... Camels. Yeah, well, camel spiders are harmless. And huntsman spiders, they're also harmless. But, still creepy. Also, technically, camel spiders are scorpions, so I'm just saying. Okay, I'm not saying it wasn't deserved, but I could have done without spilling water on my lap, you know? Well, okay, leg, but close enough. Like, I get it. Didn't need to happen. Whatever. This is why I have napkins on standby. And then I'll request bacon. Yeah. But they're not spiders, Joker. They're scorpions. They're a type of scorpion. I regret to inform you, your favorite spider is not a spider. been lied to. I don't know if I go that far. Okay. It's probably one of the first things that shows up if you look them up. I have to go cry in the bathroom now. At least I have to cover my face to walk to the car. What? Why does nothing make sense today? Games don't make sense. The recording kind of made sense. So there's that. All don't make sense. I've learned tarantulas have a theme song, and you're talking about covering your face when you go to walk to your car. Don't look at this over there. Okay. But usually when someone likes something, they go, ah, I see. Okay, that makes sense. Usually someone likes something, they look it up on Google or something. Could just be me. Who knows? I'm going to cry now and then fall asleep at work pretty early. Oh no. You have a good night. You as well, Charles. Thanks for stopping by. There you go. Ow. Neck. Can only have had that in one context, but anyway. Fair point, this is you we're talking about. But I mean, I figured you do plenty of reading for D&D, so like, I don't know, maybe it carried over slightly or something. That was helpful. Apparently didn't, but that was helpful. Can't say I saw this, where I saw the stream going. I'm gonna be honest. Oh, I feel like I should be concerned. It was not what I was expecting, but fair enough. I guess you'd have to go outside to take a picture. Don't worry, camels, spiders, smug. The fact that that's probably a thing is disturbing. Like, you do you, but definitely not for me. I'm huge on insects, to be fair. Ladybugs are fine, but... And crickets. Crickets are cool. Reach a very healthy unhealthy air quality of AQI 150 plus. Nice. Nice. Like, we get that here a lot of the time too with the fires, but that's not great, as they say. Unless you don't like breathing, then it's fine, probably. For as long as you get by with not breathing, and that's just inevitably not great. It was literally orange. No, it wasn't like literally blocking out the sun. That's not that bad. It could be worse. I'm pretty sure I've sent worse. Yeah, no, it's when it starts looking like a Lord of the Rings film, specifically at some part involving Sauron, that you start worrying then. It's really worrying. Asthma, by the way. Fantastic combo. Don't worry about it. No, well, it seems like something's messing with the meteorological setup you got going there. Hey, look at it this way. At least, actually, no. This is at least it's not acid rain, but it's, as far as your car is concerned, it's just as bad. Because it'll still strip the paint because of the soot and ashes and their reaction with the water against your paint. So it's great. You need to wash your car, at least rinse it off, I guess. Mm-hmm. My favorite part of fire season. Yeah. I still need to kill the wasp so that it made a nest. And okay, so for reference, the car that I have, technically, it's basically non-functional, but you know, most cars would have the tailgate just be like completely sealed, as one would expect. No, they decided to have a little hollow, which is open at the outside, so wasps keep making nests in there. So I need to kill the latest tenants, and I keep forgetting. Yeah, partially because I'm not actually sure. Like, how do they work in terms of going to sleep when it's still bright out, but it's technically like 9 o'clock? Not super sure. So like trying to find that sweet spot has been a little tricky. The summer's been insane. Heat waves, diarrhea lettuce. More heat waves. Smokey the Bear quit at life, I guess. No, it's just it's in Canada. It's not his jurisdiction. That's what it is. Yay. Hot muggy with smoke. Yes. Love it. It's great. Deal with it towards the dusk so it could invade. Yeah, see, that's the part has been finding dusk when the days keep elongating. There's some of the fruits and veggies. No, I have not. It's great. Fantastic. Parasites. Not even bacteria, just straight to parasite. Awesome. Fair enough. Oh boy, oh boy. Yeah. It's a whole new world. No, that's Disney. Specifically Aladdin. But something point of view. It is a different point of view. Parasites and lettuce. That's new. I could do without it, personally. Okay. Look. 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 Where's my... I'm staring at my VTube Studio window. I might be stupid, but... Okay, look. So, I'm lagging first off. That's great. Good signs. Second... What am I gonna say? Wait, does this look like the face of a girl who enjoys parasites? No. I have enough issues with food. I don't need to add parasite-infested lettuce. Or vegetables. Or other fruits. And whatnot. That's... No. No. I deal with enough, thank you. Fine. You can just leave them out. Just on the side or something. Okay? We good? Can we agree on that? Cool. Cool. Good enough. Where is the center of this? Oh, that's about right. Oh, I can already tell he's typing up an entire paragraph. Great. Oh boy. Like, do I really want to know? No. Should I? Probably. You know, just sometimes not knowing is nice, but at the same time, you can't avoid a thing if you don't know about it. Well, that sounds like it wasn't super evasive. Probably. Maybe. So who knows? My bad. Might have accidentally flicked my mic. I know. Less exciting than other options, but... Oh, we got another. Why am I put under infectious disease outbreaks? What is that supposed to mean, huh? Huh? Also, why are the corners rounded in that screenshot? What the hell? Weirdo? What's that? Cycloporiasis? Cycloporiasis. Interesting. And by interesting, I mean, you know. Oh, it's because it's just on your phone, and that's the... Got you. Yeah, no, that's weak sauce, okay? It doesn't look like the end of days with... Okay, like, that's kind of creepy with, like, the orange sun. But it's at least still bright. It's still bright out. It could be worse. Okay? Might lose connection, BRB, just in case. It's relatively new. What's relatively new? What? I'm learning a lot of new things today, I guess. Things that I've never heard of. We have tarantulas with a theme song that I've never heard of. We have... What was the other thing? There was another thing. I don't remember what the other thing was. I just learned camel spiders are your favorite non-spider spider. Also not the outbreak. That's cool. I don't eat taco. I can't eat Taco Bell anyway, so it's like... Probably. Honestly, I don't even know if I'd be able to tell the difference between just average ate something I shouldn't have in that, so we'll see. Yay, food allergies! It's great. It's great. That was later in the night. My point stands. That's still pretty freaking bright. If I wasn't actively using my phone, I would send you a picture. But no, it's when the sky itself looks orange because the sun can't really get through. That's when you know there's a lot of smoke. That's a lot of smoke. That's just like light smoke. That's like medium light smoke. Maybe medium heavy. It's on one of those spectrums. I'm well aware that my views are slightly skewed because I've seen worse. Multiple times, actually. It's fairly common here. And that it's... Oh, jeez. Been for like 8 years. Oh, no. It's like at least every other year we get that. So... You know. I'm just saying. It could be worse. It could be worse. Be happy. Be thankful. Mm. Oh. Okay, no. That's fine. Can I really have anything specific to talk about today, did I? This is just a distraction from recording for the video, which it happens when it happens at this point. So over it. At least the idea is coming along, and then after I get it, it'll continue to be, you know, more streamlined and coherent. Yeah, that's what yeah. Maybe a little brighter than I've seen. That's like midday maybe. But it gets worse. Don't worry. Don't worry, it gets worse. That is pretty bad though. When you've got like the radioactive haze, you literally have the Mexico filter. So yeah. You have like the radioactive and or that's kind of funny how they're the same, but radioactive and or Mexico filter on for that. That's what that looks like. Yeah. Not great for your lungs, to be clear. You should not be inhaling ash. Kind of a neat aesthetic, though. As long as you have a gas mask on hand. You live in Mexico now. The news service, they bring it to you if you don't want to go there. Oh. Don't ask how it works. Something about wormholes and whatnot, it's not important. Enjoy! Well, how bad would it look in Mexico City as far as that? Because I know the air quality is not great, to put it mildly. So that might just be their norm. The townland of Chernobyl. Well, you only might grow a third leg. No, not like that. Well, that might grow too, but it might also explode. Who really knows? It's not a guarantee. The cartels are definitely there though, so... Knowing your luck. No, you're just gonna screw it out of me, actually. My condolences. Yeah. I was gonna say, with your luck, you piss off the cartel. But then I realized that also applied to mutations. Yeah. Yeah. It's hindsight and all that, you know. You know how it is. That wasn't Jack Ryan. What movie was that? It's not Sicario. You like accidentally got involved and then had to fight them? Whatever, not important. Hmm. I really haven't seen any movies lately, have I? Hmm. Hmm. Kind of whatever, I guess. I haven't heard of any good ones either, so I don't think I've missed a bunch, realistically speaking. First off, I wouldn't want to go to them in the theater. Second, there's no second, technically. I just feel like I should have a second or third option. For reasons of superstition, I guess, if nothing else. But I don't. Although it is nice to be able to, you know, just watch them. I have a 27-inch screen. Alright, I might as well use it. It's not quite the same audio experience, but it's good enough. And you can usually watch it more than once. If you want to. I don't know what you would, but you could. You could. Watch anime is better than movies that have been coming out lately. I don't know if that says more about the quality of movies or the quality of anime currently. Maybe both. Movies got worse, anime got better. Who knows? I don't keep track of either, so I really couldn't tell you. Yeah. You know, I just watch YouTube videos and read. Yeah, it's exciting. Technically play games when they're not being BS. Although I do, okay. I have enjoyed Jubilee in Marvel Rivals. Kind of. So there's that. Also getting back into War Thunder. Been fire lately. So insensitive. What the? Well, you know, at least the entire state isn't purple. Hmm? Hmm? Yeah? Yeah, see? It could be worse. You're not even like a dark purple. Slash maroon. It's more of a maroon. And then a purple. Ah. So Eastern Canada's on fire. And the West Coast isn't on fire again. Don't worry. We're still in summer. There's a chance. Anyway. I'm both looking forward to and not looking forward to recording for this video. I finished explaining what I was doing. Alright, so I've basically honed in on. I think last time I said I was going to be doing mostly Hell Let Loose, the original, not the Vietnam one that is coming out soon, because A, I can't buy it, B, I probably couldn't do it, run it content-wise anyway, and B, War Thunder. Specifically, mostly War Thunder Air because I don't. The fidelity that I get for naval is kind of just utter dog water, really. So I don't really feel like using it. Technically, air isn't a ton better, but it is better because it's less demanding, so then it looks better. Even if I forgot how slow velocity the A6 M5's cannons are, I kind of want to take the E3 out, or maybe the F4, that's the BF109, because I watched a video on them and the different variants, and I kind of want to because I miss them. It's nostalgia. But Sniper Team and Help is again, that would go hard. I'm not sure what I'd do otherwise. Probably be on my own in a squad, just doing scouting things. Because I definitely don't want to be in charge of people. Yeah, like, you're getting better about the whole docking thing, but I still don't love doing that. Also, just, I work better as like part of a whole, but off to the side, like doing my own thing, working with the whole, but not, you know, being what's the word? Melded with it? I can't think of the actual word I want to use. But yeah, squad lead, not really my thing. Also gets very loud because then you have the squad lead chat in your ear on top of your squad chat, on top of VoIP. So yeah, it's hectic. Not my favorite. It can be easy for me. Okay, I can do like a group of 3 people. That's pretty easy. But just the same reason I don't really play RTSs. There's too much going on otherwise. I'm better at focusing on myself and hitting my shots and like being with a group of people who also know what they're doing so I don't have to micromanage everything. Because like I'm good tactically. I get what I should do and what is the best thing to do. Not that I would do that. But, you know, I get it. Mm-hmm. Just that's that again. But yeah, I don't know. Probably wouldn't really focus on vehicles. More infantry shenanigans. But that works because free storyline. Yeah, I could just take the entire match and talk about it or something else if I want to. This is the part of it that's like not fully set as far as video ideas because it's not super repeatable if I pick a topic per se, like, but like for War Thunder, digging into why people aren't happy with it at the moment and what the pain points are. I'm sure I could do that with Hellos if I wanted to. But also just what worked and what didn't in the game sort of thing could work. There's options. Not fully settled on what exactly it's going to look like in the future, but at a certain point you kind of just have to do it. So, you know, just have to do it. And if it changes, it changes. How would it turn that into shorts? No clue. Not a single clue what I would do for short content. Not worrying about it at the moment. Even if it would probably do good. That'd be better for growth. Kind of, sort of. I feel like long form video would translate better to stream watcher than a short. Especially because no one watches long shorts. You can't, it's like, well, you can technically do 3-minute long shorts now. It's like, but no one watches more than like 40 seconds. Realistically. And even then, the shorter it is, the better it does. Because attention spans, yeah, they're great. It's fine. It's totally fine. This has 0 repercussions for humanity. if you're wondering why, like, whatever specific disease doesn't get its vaccine and or cure finished in time, uh, because they got bored and they had to like work on something else for a bit. Sorry, blame iPads and the parents who gave them to you. I don't know. Oh. Not that giving kids who still developing mentally and just shoving iPads in their faces or PCs even and saying, "Hi, entertain yourself with YouTube content," which is mostly short form because it's easy and what was popular. And then they get used to it. And now they basically have ADHD. And then they have to change, like, people have to change the type of content they're making because everyone has such slow attention spans, and then it just snowballs. That's great. It's great. Love that. I came by my ADHD naturally, alright? I was born with it. Molded by it. I didn't have a choice. Technically, you did neither, but you know what I mean. This would work better if I remembered more of the line, alright? Bane in the Batman movies was not the best. No, that wasn't the best, right? But he was very memeable, so got that going for him. Is being memeable a good thing? Like, is that a positive trait? Or is that just net negative? Or is it like average? Is it just neutral? Like, is it just a neutral thing? I don't really know. Timer says that it's been an hour, but I don't know if I believe that. I have a little bit of number things to look at. One of which is the previews. Which is technically lower than average for an hour in. Which ties me to believe concurrent ratio for not probably this joke. But I don't know. I can't really stream later, even though I kind of would want to sometimes from a certain perspective, because that's just when this type of content is better. It's like 8 o'clock to 3? Somewhere in there. It gets progressively more degenerate as you get later, granted. At least higher chance of degeneracy. But that's not really my scene. As much as I do make jokes. Yeah. It's the thing. I make jokes about a lot of things. Okay. That doesn't mean that it's all I think about. It just means that it's a really easy joke to make in the moment. So you know. Oh boy. I say oh boy, but there is no message. Oh, he's typing. He's typing. What's he typing? Lost connection. He might have lost connection. You never know. Oh, you know what I need? I need League of Legends Classic. That's what I need. I need something fresh. I'm also curious to how Ari's gonna play in that. AP Tristana looks kind of fun. Other than that, no clue. No clue. No plans. We'll see. The thing is just like, I know what you think is doing it. I called it! I called it. Okay, good. I got to the GIFs without it double clicking. So my mouse likes doing that because it's dying. The yeah. I'm looking for a specific GIF. I don't even know what the hell the GIF is from. It's the guy like leaning out of a doorway while eating something? Chewing? Like just a thumbs up? Yo. I keep clicking on this and I don't actually mark it as red so the notifications go away. It's not ideal. Hmm. Ow. Okay, thanks. That's fine. It was doomed to be a quiet day. It's been a great day. It's been a thing. No, I'm not super surprised. I'm not exactly the largest of content creators nor the most settled, so I'm not surprised. Just is what it is, really. Hopefully, more consistent content-wise soon, though, especially because we should be getting, well, it's like technically 2 months till we get into fall. So that's still a lot of summer, which I'm not enthused with. But as it gets cooler, I get more active because I get a reverse reptile or something. I don't know. Mm. Look, I don't know what to like. Look at the background. Look at the model colors. Yeah, I have a theme going. It's winter. My theme is winter. Sort of, kind of blue roses. Also now, literally the name, but visually, aesthetically winter. So, you know, is just how it is. Not that, well, I don't love summer. Like, just as a general rule, it's hot, muggy, gets sweaty. It's not like I get time off of school because I'm not doing school. Arguably, I'm on an incredibly long break for everything. Not by choice, mind you. I don't actually like doing nothing. I prefer doing work, but I'm also kind of in this weird situation where I'm used to not doing work. Also depression. So having to get over that, and then having to get used to doing stuff again. It's sort of annoying, but it is just how things work out. Can't change it, can only work with it. I'm pretty adaptable, though, so that's not the worst thing in the world. Oh, yeah. Not doing it. Okay. I'm biased on my voice, for sure, I know that. So I don't think it's been the greatest day as far as that goes. It's been a rough couple of days, honestly, as far as that goes. I don't know why. Partially, it's tension, right? Because I tense up and it makes everything sound different. But also just falling back on habits, I guess. It's kind of annoying. I also can't do a ton about it. So, um, whatever. How long do I think that's gonna take? Well, I just have to do the recording and then a light bit of editing. Because like the most that I want to do is like zoom in or out with my model. just have the gameplay in the background. I do have a script, technically. It's about as scripty as any script that I do will be, in that there's not a lot on it. It's very succinct. It's technically more of a brief summary on what I want to talk about from each section. I say each section, there's just 3 things that I wanted to talk about, which was the grind for War Thunder, lack of game modes, and the detrimental parts of making it so that people can buy their way into through tech trees. But I'm not going to spoil it, because I do need to actually nail down exactly what I want to talk about and put it into a coherent, cohesive video, which is going to take a little bit of editing, because I don't want to have dead spots. Like, there's a difference between a poignant pause and a awkward pause. Shooting for the first more so than the second. Time will tell. That's about the best that I can do there. Yeah. Water almost gone, kinda. As far as like storyline stuff goes, I'm kind of waiting for Build 42 to get released for Project Zomboid before I dive into it, because I don't really want to have to redo it or restart a save whenever they update. So it's supposed to be sometime this summer. I just want to be able to do blacksmithing and have a chill time. Like, I'm not the type to go walking into major cities. I may have ADHD, but I don't really want to, well, it's not got the best mechanics for it, and it's more tedious than it is challenging, right? And so I may like a challenge, but I don't like tedium. That's why my editing style is very minimalistic. And even then, it's still very draining to my ADHD-riddled brain. But what can you do? Not a lot. You can't do a lot, is the answer. Hmm. Not sure. But yeah, so I also have Hello List to figure out the specifics of. I'm kind of sad that. Oh, it's Cyberpunk. Arc Raiders doesn't work out more, but it's just too system intensive to record. Even if I have a lot that I could talk about for that game. But I also need to figure out how often I want to swap around what game that I'm doing / talking about. Because I've noticed things do better when I occasionally shift the sign. This is slightly less does it. Shift the thumbnail so that I'm on the left or the right every once in a while. And with games, I don't do great when it's just a different game every time. But if I play it a couple of times and then do something else and do that for a bit and then do something else for a bit and then come back, seems like that's a little more reliable. I don't know what that means we're doing next, okay? But doing something. I'm doing something. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do for the rest of the day. I'd like to play League. It hasn't worked out over the past literal week. Very frustrating, but what can I do about it? Yeah. I really do need to get into 3D modeling at some point. 3D modeling. 3D animation at some point. I'm good at many things. Creating new models and looks is not necessarily one of them. Huh. I don't do amazing in scenarios where I have too many options. And that counts as having too many options because there's too many things that I could do. And so it gets too complicated. Is what it is. I'm starting to get slightly zony though, so I don't know what I'm gonna do. But I'm gonna do something. And that's all the focus that I have for today. Thank you very much for watching. You know, it was shorter than it usually would be, but welcome to ADHD. The best laid plans do not stay plans. In fact, doing hard, stuck plans is usually just a negative in general with ADHD. I don't have the energy to stick to doing things that I don't enjoy doing. Just makes a lot of things more complicated than they need to be, I'm sure you could imagine. So, distracted though. I have a fetus scene, right? And probably see you Friday. Join the Discord if you want to know when I go live, because I don't technically have a set schedule, but you will get notifications as long as you're not a bot. If you're new to Discord, on the off chance that that's the case, small bit of guidance on etiquette if you don't want to get immediately banned from a server. Have a profile picture, okay? Just have a profile picture. Put something in your bio. Doesn't need to be fancy, just needs to be something. Because otherwise any account less than like, honestly, even months old, because I've had ones that come in with like 5-6 months. I think it was when that was a couple of years old. And it was still just a spam account, which posted in a bunch of channels and then got instantly banned. So, but especially if your account's like 3 days old or whatever, do some personalization. Goes a long way. And it makes it feel more like yours. Much like if you decorate your room or whatever. Hidden psychology. But I'll see you guys next time. Later.